So, for some reason, my PC has decided it doesn't want to detect any of my microphones. Checked privacy settings, reinstalled drivers. It just today decided it didn't want to. So, I got to record from my phone, and it is not my favorite thing to do, but one must video. So, hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. The more I am setting up my office, like the more super happy I am. I think it works. I hope the audio is okay for this video because it's an earbud day. Because everything else is connected to my Surface that just simply will not cooperate, and I'm giving it the evil eye right now. But I'm going to start something new on the channel today, just like with starting the reviews of Ruyi's Royal Love in the Palace, getting to The Hobbit whenever I feel like it. I'm also going to start including Lego builds, and we're going to call this little series Legos and Lore. So I have a ton of Lego sets, but I haven't had time to put them together because, moving, marriage, life, just so much has been happening. I barely even had time to record videos. But I thought it would be fun as a build up to putting together the giant Optimus Prime that's like 900 pieces or something. It's something crazy. That I would start with the small ones and work up to the big ones. Because if I can't do the one that's for a 4-year-old, I probably can't build any of them. So let's not delay. So this one is obviously the Black Panther, and it's cute and it's little. So let's go ahead and open this little guy up. So it says, oh, it's 58 pieces. My God, today, 58 pieces. Just for a 4-year-old? Okay. That's a lot of things that can go up a nose. I'm just saying. So it has, why is it only in French? Yeah, the whole box is just in French. This must have been purchased online. It was a gift. So, kind of like that. Kind of don't want to get rid of the French box now. So I wonder if this is a set. Can somebody tell me this is even a set you can get in the Americas? I mean, like, just like go to a store. Obviously, you can get it on Amazon, eBay, whatever. But is this like a Lego store thing in America? Because it is totally just in French, which is interesting. Except the part that says choking hazard. It's not. So if it's a choking hazard, why is it 4+? Okay, let me get off that. Anywho, but this one is real cute and simple. It is Shuri and the Black Panther in the little laboratory there. The lab there in Wakanda. So what is, oh my goodness, Lego is the most, look at that, they tell you where you should open the box. Do you not trust us, Lego? Do you not think we can open boxes adequately? You know what? Somebody is going to be smart and answer that, and we probably can't. So, yeah. So this is the spot they said to open. Oh, because, okay, so it unfolds into like a little thing. So it is like the perfect little place to open. Oh, look at you, Lego. Everything is just packaged so nicely. So it's 58 pieces, but it doesn't look extremely difficult because, again, it's made for a little one. So we've got our little base plate here, which I guess this is everything that's going to stick to it. I really love the Black Panther series. It's one of my favorites, and there is something in my eyeball. 1 second. I really am a huge fan of the Black Panther series. And no, it is no cinematic feat. Let's be real. The costumes, though, they earned that costume Oscar because whoever that costume designer was, they did the absolute thing. Oh my God, they have instructions that say, dump out the pieces. That's funny. Like, how are you going to put it together if you didn't dump out the pieces? Okay. But, oh, it's telling you which one it wants you to dump out first. Okay. So we're just going to follow the little old instructions. But I love the Black Panther series. And part of the reason, obvious reasons. But what's interesting is watching a lot of the masses' reactions to the current state of the MCU, because the MCU and Disney, they've gone woke, blah blah blah. I, growing up, not so much recently because I don't have time for the hobbies I already have. I can't include another one. But growing up, I had an affinity for the comics. I was a huge fan, especially of Marvel. And I'm gonna just rat out the kids right now. Like, look, parents, look. Just cause it's animated and drawn does not necessarily mean it was made for kids. Sorry, youngins. I'm gonna let your parents know that. But one of the things I always appreciated about the Marvel Universe is its diversity. Uh, if you've ever gone through any of the comics, you will realize that Mr. Stan Lee, the legend, the myth that the man was, forever shall be, he believed in diversity. This was a man who loved the female form in all shades. It could be white, it could be black, it could be tan, it could be green, it could be blue, it could be orange, it could be yellow. He didn't care. To him, diversity meant appreciating beauty in all of its forms. But no, seriously, I think a lot of times when people are upset about current incarnations of certain stories that they grew up with or they think they grew up with, they may not be as familiar with the source material as they think they are. Like the new Iron Man is a black girl. Well, it is in the comics too. And that was a storyline that Stan Lee wrote. That was always the intention. I don't think it's so much an issue of wokeness. I think it's Stan Lee created a world where anyone could be a hero. And I think that's what's so beautiful about the Marvel Universe. So I'm not much of being a political person. I really like to live in the fantasy that, we all just love and respect each other for exactly who we are. And, and appreciate humans for their humanness. As I put my little Shuri together, isn't she cute? Like, I don't know who decided the hair here, but that's precious. Oh my, well, even, oh, she's got two faces. Oh, look at that. Look, you can be, focus. You can be mad Shuri. You can be happy Shuri. Or wait, or is that mad? No, yep, that's happy. You can be happy Shuri. You can be mad Shuri. Okay, well, we'll be mad Shuri today. So, which direction does this hair go? That's a pain. One of the things I think is hard to grasp when you've grown up in a world that provides representation already for who you are is when you've always had it, it's hard to appreciate what it's like for people who don't see themselves in popular media, who don't see themselves represented in politics, who don't see themselves in businesses and corporations, because you wonder if that can ever be you. Okay, so apparently these two little things are her little pew pew things that she's got for the oh, it says I have to put them in something. Hold up. I think they go. Okay, this and this makes the little pew pew. That's the technical term, the pew pew. So when you've always had representation, I think it's hard to appreciate what it means to people in a certain society to not have it. So I can only speak from my own experience. Fortunately for me, I, being born in modern America, I've seen more of myself represented in mass media and business. Oh my God, that's so cute. Than my parents did, than my grandparents did. My grandparents didn't see it at all unless it was something super racist and negative. But that didn't start until, my parents' childhood and beyond. And I think, digressing here for just a second, to always have something makes you not appreciate what it means to not have it. So to be a child growing up and to not be able to find a doll the same color as you, or not to be able to buy a box of Band-Aids that blends in with your skin, or that makeup manufacturers didn't think that, people of a certain skin tone might want to purchase their products, or even finding hair care products that work for your hair. Representation matters. It's not just a matter of diversity for the sake of diversity. Growing up in a world that overwhelmingly makes a person, whether intentional or not, feel that they don't have equal value in society produces citizens that are not as connected to their country, their city, their state, the world that they're in, the society that they're born into. What Marvel has been able to accomplish with the MCU is to set up a space where everyone has representation. And not just representation in terms of physical appearance, but in terms of culture, in terms of contribution, value, worth in the world. We have heroes who are male and female who are of equal substance. You'll notice that there is a counterbalance to every single hero. You know, there is a Thor and there is a mighty Thor. You know, there is an Iron Man and there is Iron Heart. You know, there is the Black Widow and there is Hawkeye. That is incredibly intentional on the part of the creators at Marvel. So let's take it back from I don't know what this is going to end up being, but it's confusing me. Y'all can drag me in the comments with my 4-year-old Legos. I'm doing my best here. I lost my train of thought. So let's back it up from just thinking about race, because everything's not a race issue. Let's just think male, female. So the construct of society, traditional society, had women in particular roles, to only be in the home, to not work outside of the home. Primary function is to bring up children, take care of house and husband. That was going to be your destiny. That's not a bad destiny if it's the destiny that you choose. These little animations are cute. I have no idea what this is. What is this supposed to be? I don't recognize this from the lab. Like, this is, I mean, it's real good. Look, put those two in your hand and then this. But I don't know what this is going to end up being. Did they have a sword? I don't remember a machete. Okay, we'll set this to the side. Next piece. But just think about being a girl growing up, especially for the past, 5,000 years. You had one thing you could be. Just one. You could be a wife. And if you weren't going to be a wife, you were going to be a woman who was not valued in society. Oh, I see what this is now. So here's a shield. You know that Ibombe, the shield. So this is a little weapons rack. Okay, so that is a machete. I don't recall a machete, but I'll have to go back. And then the little, okay, yeah, I'm into a little Dora Milaje stack here. And when, they decided that children could have childhoods at some point, because that's a whole other conversation, the way we've treated children over the years. Because for a long time, because people only lived to be, 30, 40, 50, there was no such thing as childhood once upon a time. Putting Black Panther together now. So children didn't get to experience what we call childhood now, with toys and everything else. But eventually, once life got easier in the Western world and children didn't have to be, little adults, and they could have childhood, and they started manufacturing toys. Toys were very much centered along the lines of producing the desired end state of that particular gender and their role in society. So girls got baby dolls and little prams. I've watched too much British television. Strollers and cooking sets and stuff like that. Boys got building blocks and trucks and toy guns. That's just how it was. So representation for a long time meant, girls, this is what you're meant to do. We are giving you toys to set you up for what we expect you to be in the future, not giving you much choice. Boys, we expect you to be this certain type of person and represent yourself this way in society. We are setting you up that if you choose to represent yourself differently, that's not what society expects from you. I can't imagine having been, look at him, he gets two faces too. Rawr. Or, ah. This is kind of fun, not gonna lie. Growing up and society being so stinking forward about how you should show up. If you were a male and you had the nerve to choose a non-masculine route in life, it wasn't going to be good, or what was considered conventionally masculine. If you were female and you chose a non-conventionally female route in life, things weren't going to go well for you. I have a huge fascination with ancient Asian culture, and it always struck me that women basically only had like three choices. You become a wife and mother, probably to a total stranger. You become a servant, never to marry, but to always be under someone's thumb, or you could sell your body. Those were the options. And to be outside of any of those options was not to be anything that society would accept from a woman. So when we talk representation, it's more than just color, because representation means that we are using pop culture, mass media to tell people this is what society expects you to be, and if you're not that, we don't accept you. But enter DC, enter the Marvel universe, enter comic books, animation, the toy craze of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Enter, for lack of a better term, wokeness. The concept that perhaps we don't have to tell people what they're going to be, but perhaps we can give representation of all of the options of what they could be and allow people to dream of their own future. Maybe we let children have fun and imagination and see themselves in all kinds of potential opportunities. It's getting interesting. Again, I have no idea where this is going. But let children see themselves in different opportunities, in different modalities, in different scenarios in life. And then let's see what generations that are allowed imagination to think beyond what society says they should be, and let them imagine what they could be. This is so amazing, like how easy this is. Granted, again, I'm doing a set for an itsy bitsy. Oh, I'm building like a little skateboard thing for him to be on. I just got it. But I can see why the kids really are into the Legos. I mean, this is just a small set. This is something cute to set on my desk. But I can see why this is so much fun, because they make it so easy if you don't drop pieces under your desk. Now, let's be very, very clear with ourselves. There is a financial component to this. The more people that you appeal to, the more money you get to make. So why limit one's business? I don't recall Black Panther having a skateboard, but I accept it. Why limit your business to only being able to make money in a couple of ways? Why limit your business to only being able to make money through masculine toys for boys and feminine toys for girls? Why only be able to market feminine stories to girls and masculine stories to boys? What if you could make all stories for everyone? What if you could do two things at once? What if you could make all the money and inspire people to figure out what their best actual future would look like? So apparently I'm building a platform here on this end. Okay, got it. So this is where everything is going to stand. And that is what modern Marvel and Disney are accomplishing. Yes, there is a financial component. The more people you market to and make feel good, the more money you're going to make. I'm here for it. Get your coins. Just because you make money doesn't mean I can't make money. That's not how this works. But I think also you have to remember the people that are running these businesses now, part of what they're doing is living out the dreams that they had as children. You have to remember the divides, the differences in the generations. The freedoms and success that I enjoy, my parents never could have had. And my grandparents before them, no, it just never would have been an option. I am getting to see and experience things that my parents would never have known. My parents did not know a world where they saw consistent positive role models that looked like them on television. There was some groundbreaking TV in terms of sitcoms and live action television. But when it came to animation, it was still, regardless of who you were, a lot of stereotypes. The ditzy blonde, the macho guy, um, the person of color on roller skates. It was a lot of stereotypes. I mean, one of the best cartoons I think that ever came out was Scooby-Doo, because it kind of broke the conventions of all of those stereotype models. Like, you had the smart girl who was dorky, the stoner guy, the popular girl, and the macho dude, but none of those characters lived up to the stereotype. They had the look, but those were four friends that formed a cohesive team, and nobody fell into the tropes of physically what those characters should be. And I think that's why Scooby-Doo has lasted for so long. It's because, okay, wow, just because I was born in a certain part of society doesn't mean I have to be what the world said I have to be. I can be something else. Did they do that on purpose? I don't know. But that's what happened. And that's really cool. So what does any of this have to do with modern Disney and wokeness? I'm so glad you asked. So imagine being a child in the modern age. But imagine being a child 50 years ago. These are two incredibly different childhoods that have played out. 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, you didn't get options. You were going to be what society said you could be. Imagination wasn't your friend. If daddy was an oligarch, you were going to be an oligarch. If daddy was a farmer, you were going to be a farmer. If mommy was a homemaker, you were going to be a homemaker. And to break out of those perceived societal molds, that was taboo. I mean, we're talking people breaking up families, getting ostracized, and everything else for having the nerve to choose what they want to do. And then to have all of the media telling you this is what you're supposed to be. To have the media telling you that, hey, you are a person of color in a world that was not meant to be run by people who look like you. So fit into this mold that we designed for you, and please and thank you, don't break out of it. But then we had pioneers of media who chose to do something different. I don't care what the motivation was, because they chose to do something different. We now have children who don't have to live childhoods that dictate to them what they have to be. We're now living in a world where we may have a generation that has always perceived that they have a choice as to how they're going to show up in society. I cannot tell you the unmitigated joy I had. And I've enjoyed all of the Marvel movies. I really have. I love a story. I'm not one to really be a critic of any type of mass media. Do I have stuff that I like more than others? Of course, I'm human. But I'm as a confirmed nerd, I am super happy to see media that I love being popularized and them keep making movies. Taika Waititi, whatever you're doing, keep doing that. I'm all about it. I have no idea. I don't recognize any of this. Do you? But I cannot explain to you the joy I felt to watch Black Panther and see people who looked like me being portrayed as heroes. That they created a nation that is thriving and prosperous. Because when I was growing up, I was told that there was nothing good in Africa. That people who look like me on the other side of the planet only created war and death. And Stan Lee created a version of people who look like me, who achieved just as many great things as were achieved in America, if not greater, who created a prosperous, peaceful, thriving nation. And whether he meant to or not, he created a sense of hope. And then on top of it, Chadwick Boseman just being a decent human being, God rest his soul, and being so good, throughout his life, as a member of the MCU, and being so good to his fans, especially children, it was energizing. I see people who look like me doing amazing things. Heroes don't only look a certain way. Let's take it out of fantasy. Doctors don't only look a certain way. Doctors can be females. Once upon a time, there was no such thing as a woman doctor. Women can be in the military and do great things. Men can be fantastic cooks and makers of high fashion. In fact, I think all the top brands are owned by men now. What Marvel in media like that does for us is reminds everyone that you too can be. That it's not limited. Oops, I don't know what this is, but it's not limited to just people of a certain strata in society. You don't have to be born into the right place, to the right people at the right time. That anyone can become great if they choose to. Anyone can do something magnificent with their life. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter your ethnic background. It doesn't matter what you were told before. You can be anything. You can be a hero. I think that's worth celebrating. So if you've always had representation, fret not. No one's taking it from you. But allow everyone the opportunity to see someone like them do great things. In popular media everywhere. It's not limited to America. I've traveled all over the world. I've seen versions of my country and gone, oh, this is what y'all think of us. But it's not like we haven't done the same thing. It goes both ways. But let's learn to celebrate each other in all types of media. I think what bothers people is that we all have an idea of what certain things should be. And when that's interrupted, when that's challenged, it's uncomfortable. We're humans. We don't like to be uncomfortable. We don't like to be challenged. We like the status quo. The status quo is easy. But the status quo is also stagnation. We as a society can't stagnate. There's another generation coming after me, and I am so happy for them that hopefully they don't have to live in a world that tells them what they have to be. That they look at popular media, at politics, at societal structure, at who's in what type of positions, and they say, I can be or do anything, because everyone else can be or do anything. I can choose my best actual future instead of somebody choosing my future for me. And at the end of the day, they're fictional characters. It doesn't matter what they are. They can be anything because they were made up in the first place. Anywho, so I got it together. That was rather quick. I was talking through this, so I probably could have done it in 5 minutes had I not been talking. I don't know what any of this is. Does anybody recognize this? So I think I pick a spot and put Shuri. Oh no. It does not show them actually in the thing. So apparently this is some kind of little launcher. I don't know. It's gonna sit on my desk and be cute is what it's gonna do. So we'll pick a spot for Shuri. There we go. There's Shuri. Pew pew. I guess there's room on so her little weapon stand here. You know what? We're just gonna put it on the end here because I want all of this together. And then he's on a cart. So I guess he just stands next to them on his little cart. I have no idea where in the movie any of this was. I have not watched the Lego series, so I'm going to assume this is somewhere in the Lego series. Don't have time to watch everything all the time, all at once. But yeah, this is super cute. So let me know if you like the Legos and lore, and we'll keep doing this. I kind of went on a tangent. I didn't plan to today. But that's what was on my mind. So that's what I talked about. People are either going to love this video or it's going to be into my channel. I don't know. I have the nerve to celebrate people in all their glory. So, you can't do that today. You gotta hate somebody. I'm joking. You don't have to hate anybody. We can all just be happy friends together. So that will go on my desk. I don't think I will keep the box and the instructions. Cute as it is, you can't keep everything. You have to make decisions on some stuff just going away. And once it's together, we don't need all of these bits and the bobs. It can go away. So I hope you enjoyed that. I had fun. I had fun just, talking off the top of my head about things I love with nerd media and, experiencing a world where all of us get to see ourselves in popular media and what that means for the next generation, and that they don't have to grow up in a world where they have to wonder what they could be, because from the word jump, we told them they could be anything, and that's kind of cool. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.